We have some big things happening in the market today, and we need to talk about it. I am Dr. Stock, Doctor of Education, and if you are slow, sneaky, and pretty good at fighting, you might be a Ninja Turtle. All right, the market is open. We're going to take a look and see how they're doing. I have a few things I want to cover for you and talk about. Some exciting Nvidia news. We'll see what's going on with Tesla, update on Enphase, and I have one bonus at the end for you to share, which I think is pretty darn exciting. So let's get right into the charts. So what we're looking at here is SPY. And we are near the top of this trend line that I have on here for you. And so we'll see if that's about where we peak out for the markets or if we're able to pop up above that top trend line. In terms of recent support, keep an eye on that 20-day simple moving average that's going through here. And in terms of trend lines, we also, from this bottom here going up this way, have that support to rely on. So we'll see if we're able to pop up above the top of this. And if I were to put one other trend line on here for you, it would be this one that we see right now that shows us that we could have a little bit more room to the upside here. Still yet to come if we're able to pop this top trend line. Then we have one more to the upside to break over. And then we're looking for where that top happens to be. And then after that, we start to look for where we find support. Is it still that 20-day? If so, it can be a time for another bullish bounce, or is it something that we sell down through? And then what we're looking for there is that 50-day that you see on here, which can be significantly bullish for us if we catch support at that 50-day. So still looking for where the top is at for SPY. Still haven't gotten there yet. We'll watch and see. Moving on to the Qs. Nice little bullish channel happening in the near term here, going all the way back to April, up through now July. We'll see if we hit the top of this trend line. If we do, it could be a sign of times when it might make sense to do a little bit of a short-term shorting. We'll happen to see, but that would be going against the overall trend that we have going on right now. Earnings season is coming, and there are a lot of big tech companies that are out there right now that are near all-time highs or trading up significantly from where they were at before. And that includes Nvidia. We'll talk about that in just a moment because they have finally broken back up over $130 per share. First, I want to talk about Bitcoin. So when we look at Bitcoin, where's this sell-off going to happen? Well, it seems as though we're following this Fibonacci retracement that I have on here for you. And you can see where we start to find some support around 65,000, 60,000, and then 56,000. Down below that, about 52,000 makes sense with some of the other historic support that we saw before. And if that selling pressure hasn't finished yet, I was just in a live stream with Stock Mode yesterday when we pointed out about the Mt. Gox drama finally starting to be resolved. Some of the selling with that from that. Also, the German government also has some selling pressure going on as well. So we'll see where that selling pressure ends. We might get a bounce off the 50. Then we're looking for what happens around 60,000. If we sell down through 56,000 at the 50% Fibonacci here, then we're looking for about 52,000 for the next area of firm support coming out for BTC. Honestly, I think that we could see a little bit of a price rally coming up in the near term once the selling pressure is over. I think Q4 is going to be really big for Bitcoin. We're going to have to watch and see that. Enphase still struggling to find its way up. So solar in general probably going to have a tough time as being part of renewables, and then also still waiting to hear about those Fed rate cuts. We could see this being wiped out if Jerome Powell comes out and speaks about monetary policy in ways that are favorable to the interest rate sensitives, and also what we would have for the renewable energy plays as well, which I think was a little bit more on the political side of things right now for Democrat versus Republican. Democrats being a little bit more for the side of renewable energies, and Republicans more on the side of the fossil fuel side of things, the more traditional types, such as what we would see for the oil stocks that are out there. And that's a big generalization, but I think it is something, especially from what we saw from the debate, that could certainly impact that. Nvidia, I gave this look yesterday, and I have updated those technicals, and I want to show you that update that I put out to my stock group. So let me reset this view. We're looking at the 4-hour chart, and when we include some of those extended hours trading times, you see that we actually have, and this is before today, as I put this out here, that right now we are starting to break up above that $130 per share on Nvidia. It is possible that if we get the volume support here, that we start to take on that all-time high of 141.60 that we had back on June the 20th. So this is an ascending triangle pattern. This is a bullish pattern that we have, and we are breaking up above it in the early hours of today's trading day. So we want to watch and see if we'll put that percent back on. And then the next thing you want to watch for is if we double peak and then we end up selling off again, or if we continue up above to make a new higher high, which could show that we're still in bullish territory for Nvidia. As a long-term investor, I am bullish on Nvidia overall. I would like to see some of the price pulling back and dropping down to under $100 per share. I think that would be a dream to have that happen in order to load up on some shares on a somewhat cheaper basis than what we're getting them right now. But this is very enjoyable from where we've been at, and it does look like we could possibly have some further upside on top of that. Going over into Tesla, we had possible hangman got wiped out yesterday from what we had from Lucid coming out about stronger than expected deliveries, outdoing the previous quarter by 70%. Yesterday still formed a high wick around that 260,000. And so I think there's a lot of profit taking that took place up there. And then today during the trading day in the early hours, we're getting back up into the mid 250s. And so we want to watch this overbought. And also the volume support, we want to watch for that, what happens with that volume. It is possible that prior to earnings on the 23rd that we do retrace a bit from where we're at right now. If we come into earnings in an elevated way, that we come into earnings up high, it is possible that we sell the earnings. So we have that approach that could also happen. That is a possibility that's out there, and we'll see if the momentum can continue from where it's at right now. That's going to be the big old question mark that we have. I do think we're going to get some retracing prior to earnings, but in case we don't get that, I think then that is going to be paid up by the time we do get to earnings. That could possibly have very positive earnings and sell off a little bit anyway, having that profit taking going into earnings. I still have that $300 price prediction, by the way, by August the 8th with that full self-driving day, and that's assuming that earnings are relatively positive from what we had. That doesn't necessarily mean that we won't sell the earnings, but we still want to see strong earnings with strong guidance, especially where expanding margins are involved, and that forward outlook for Tesla. Maybe we'll even get a little bit more wording out there, not only a full self-driving day, causing some excitement there, but maybe also something about Optimus towards the end of this year or next. We're going to have to watch and see what they give us from Tesla. Time for that bonus that I talked about. So SOFI, look at this descending wedge pattern that we find ourselves in SOFI as the price is dropping down to 620. We're getting down near the bottom of this, and this thing is actually coming together, two trend lines right around their earnings, which it looks like they're on on Tuesday, the 30th July. So in the morning, that would be that little sunshine icon right there. It means so before the market opens, and so we're going to be on the lookout for that, for what we get. And it is possible that earnings are well received and we get a price pop off of that. This could signal a bullish reversal coming out of this if we can break up through the top trend line, especially with volume confirmation. So for SOFI, once again, long-term investor in this, and dollar cost averaging my way. And I'll probably take a little bit more today, especially if we're getting a strong negative day today for SOFI. If we drop back down below $6 per share, if we have those strong negative days, which it looks like today could possibly take us down to that bottom trend line. For me, I really do like to sell puts on things like these to either take advantage of that premium that I could get, especially if the price retraces back up, or to get some cheaper shares than what the market is currently offering me. Either one can work out really well for companies where you're looking for that sort of cheaper than what the market offers, or just to get to harvest some premium or take advantage of significant price drops and higher than normal volatility. So we'll take a look at that, and maybe that's something that we'll do. If I do, I will report it out over in the Discord. If you want access to that Discord, you can do so through the link for the Patreon. So click that link, sign on up, join us over in the Discord, see my buys and sells that I have over there, and talk with me and my community members. And then also, if you want to learn to do technical analysis like I do and really learn to empower your portfolio through technical analysis trading, you can do so through the link for the course that's also found down in the description. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments. I'd absolutely love to hear from you. It's always wonderful to be here on YouTube and sharing my thoughts and ideas and putting out as much as I can in an informative way to help impact the trading that you do and really help bring some considerations and thoughts that you may have otherwise missed. So like I said, guys, let me know down in the comments what you think of these videos. Let me know if there's anything else that you want to hear about, any other stocks that are out there, and I'd be happy to take a look at them. Thank you very much for watching. I am Dr. Stock, Doctor of Education. Remember, my friends, that learning is earning, and we'll see you in the next video.